Greetings everybody, Brian the Inspector back again for another video in our series Ask an Inspector, and this video is called Why Can't the Inspector Do That? Or What Does Limited Access Mean? Sometimes during a home inspection, the inspector may be limited in the performance of their duties. That's called limited access. Sometimes there's no access, but we'll get to that. Limited access means for some reason an inspector can't perform an inspection on a system, component, or area of the house. Okay, usually it's because of stored materials, personal belongings, furniture, junk, whatever. A lot of times people are moving, they're trying to sell their house, things are boxed up, things are packed up, you got a bunch of boxes stacked up, you got Rubbermaid containers stacked up, furniture's crammed into one room, or they're trying to show the house to make it look more lived in, so they shove everything in the garage. So when you open the garage door, you can't even get in the garage because everything's out there, but the house looks great, but the garage is full of stuff. So that would be limited access. Sometimes it's a locked door, or something is, screwed shut, you can't get to it. Something is, sealed up, you can't open it. Sometimes it's a vehicle parked in the way. I don't know how many garages I've been in where there's an access to get into a garage attic and there's cars parked underneath of it. What do you do? If the people are home, you can ask them, hey, could you please move your car? If they're away at work or out of town, guess you ain't doing the attic today. Per INTERNACHI, which is the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors, which we are a member, an inspector is only required to inspect things in readily accessible condition. What does that mean? We're throwing away a lot of quotation marks here today. We're throwing out a lot of them. So readily accessible means it's available for visual inspection without requiring the moving of personal property, dismantling, destructive measures, or any action that will likely involve risk to a person or property. Okay, most inspectors, myself included, will do within reason. I do my best to work around things. A lot of times that means sliding a couch out of the way to check an outlet, or maybe moving a box or two out of the way to access a crawl space panel, or something to that effect. But some inspectors won't even do that. Some inspectors won't touch anything, won't move anything, and that is their right. They are allowed to do that. They have the right to refuse to do that because it's in our standards. If it's not readily accessible, we don't have to move things. So some inspectors won't do that at all, and that's fine. That's the way they want to do business. No fault to them. Basically, my no-go zone is anything with glass in it. A lot of times they'll have a formal dining room. They have this nice hutch or cabinet full of the fine china. It's got the good crystal glass, all that stuff. I'm not touching that. I don't care what's behind it, not moving it. I'm going to tread lightly when I walk around it. I'm not going to breathe on it too hard because I don't want to damage anything. I've been in situations before where, that $5 knick-knack that they bought last weekend at the farmer's market, when that hits the ground and breaks, well, all of a sudden that is great-great-grandma's priceless antique she brought back from the old country, and it's worth 5 figures, and I don't want to play that game. You don't want to play that game either. It's not readily accessible. Don't mess with it. Okay? It is solely up to the inspector to determine whether he will assume liability or not by exceeding the standards and moving objects or property. So just remember, you break it, you bought it. That's true of most things. That's true in the inspection game. Okay? The best thing to avoid these problems is to have the seller make the house readily accessible. The sellers or the owners of the property need to have the necessary access provided to all areas of the house. And that includes, attic access, crawl space access, the garage, the basement, access panels for any kind of plumbing or electrical components. There's been a lot of times where I've been in finished basements and there's a clean out for the plumbing. It's behind an access panel, but you can't find it because there's an entertainment center or something in the way. So the inspector might not even be able to see it, let alone check it or inspect it. HVAC systems, water heaters. I don't know how many times there's been a mechanical room. You open the doors up and you can't even see the furnace for all the crap they have piled up in front of it. So what are you going to do? You can't move all that stuff out of the way, so I just snap a photo on the report and say, furnace equipment not accessible due to stored materials at time of inspection. That's all the inspector can do. Doors, windows, walls. In a perfect world, everything would be pulled back away from all the walls. You could walk in there, walk all the way around the room, check all the walls, all the doors, all the windows. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that way. So sometimes the inspector is limited. The inspector should document and give reasons as to why he was limited. That way, when the clients get their report, they'll know what was done and what was not done. Okay? So hope that clears some things up. I hope that these videos are educating you guys. I'm trying to give you an honest inspection answer from a inspector. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I might say some things that people don't like, but it's going to be the truth. Okay, guys? Brian the Inspector signing off. Y'all take care now.